Alright, you're welcome to yet another class. Today we'll be looking at homonyms. And I would like you to repeat that after me. Say, homonyms. Now some of you pronounce this homonyms. That's wrong. The right pronunciation is what? Homonyms. Homonyms. Is that okay? Very good. Now, what are homonyms? You must have noticed that in the course of communication, in the course of interaction with your mates, and in the course of your daily usage of English, you will have come across certain words which sound alike or which are spelled the same way but pronounced differently. Is that okay? So, when you come across such words which either sound alike or are spelled similarly, but then have different origins or different meanings, such words are what we call what? Homonyms. In other words, homonyms are words with a similar spelling or sound, but which are different in meaning and or origin. Let's take that for the last time. These are words with a similar spelling or sound, but which are different in meaning and or origin. Now, examples of these words could be the word beer and bear. Listen to that. Beer and bear. These ones sound differently, but are spelled the same way. Now, it's just one word I wrote here, but on one side it sounds beer. The other way it's pronounced bear. Now, to bear is a verb, of course, but bear has two different meanings. One side of it is to take risk or to take the consequence or effect of something. You bear it. That is one aspect of it. Then the other is to give birth. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, another meaning could also be to give a testimony. You bear what? A witness. When you bear a witness, you do what? You give a testimony. Now, it's spelled the same way, but it has different meanings. Is that okay? Now, the way you also pronounce it matters. Some of them even have the same pronunciation, but the meaning is what? Different. While some of them have the same spelling, but the meaning is different, and the word origin is also what? Different. Some of them are nouns, some of them are verbs, some of them are adjectives, depending on how you look at them. Look at the word like share. Now, this word is not share. It's not share. Is that okay? This word is not share. The word is share. Like this. Is that okay? It's not share. It's not ear that we have in it, but eh. Is that okay? So, it's not she-e. It's share. Is that okay? We'll do that in our sound class. Now, this word has different meanings as well, but it's spelled the same way. Look at this, for example. You have a word called share, which serves as one of the units you could find in the stock market. And then you also have it functioning as a verb, where you share, you give out something or distribute something between yourself and somebody else. When I have a pen, or I have two pens, and I give one out to somebody else, I have shared one of it with a friend. You understand me? That's one of it. Then we have one here, table, spelled the same way, but one functioning as a noun, the other functioning as a verb. Look at it. It sounds the same way, table. I table my matter before someone, meaning I bring that matter to that person. But table could also refer to the one you write on, or the one you eat food on in the house. You know, you go to the dining table and you eat. That table is spelled like this as well, but then it means just more than that, because this table here can function both as what? A noun and what? And a verb. When it's functioning as a verb, it means to present a matter before somebody. When it's functioning as a noun, it means the wood that you are sitting on and writing your notes right now. Now, we have another word here, which is arm. Arm could function both as a verb and also as a noun. For example, he was armed with weapons. Now, armed there is functioning as a verb. Is that okay? Now, but arm can also function as a noun. Look at my arm, right? And then arm would also mean branch or organ of something. For example, you talk about the arms of government, you talk about arms of the executive, and you have different arms or levels to different things. Now you talk about the word kind. Kind here could be either an adjective or a noun. When it's functioning as an adjective, it's talking about maybe a person's attributes. This person is a kind person, right? It can also be talking about a species. Now, when you're talking about a species, now you're talking about a noun. For example, you say Mr. Ojo and his kind. In other words, his likes, his kind of persons, or his species. That's when you're using kind. So it's spelled the same way, but it has different origin. One is an adjective, the other is what? A noun. And the meanings also do what? Also differ. Situations like this are what we refer to as what? Homonyms. Now you have another word, lie, for example. Lie here can function both as a what? A verb, and what? And as a noun. The state where a person is on a flat surface, you say the person is laying on that surface. Is that okay? Now, we can also talk about a person telling something that is not truthful. When you say what is not true, you have done what? You have lied. In that aspect, we call it a verb. Now, the spelling is the same, but then the class is different. The origin differs, and then the meaning also does what? Differs. Well, that's all about homonyms. We have words spelled the same way, and then having different meanings and different origins. I guess we've come to the end of that this wonderful class. Now, as an activity, you will go to page 170 of your English textbook and do the only exercise on that page for me. It's on homonyms, and so please do your best to study whatever is under that particular topic, and then you do that exercise for me at that particular page. Thank you very much. See you in the next class.